Everyone, welcome back to Toasty TCG. So tonight I win X1 with pure Snake Eyes. This was a deck that I've been kind of looking at since like people have known that we were going to be moving into a fire format. So this was a deck that I want to try out. Odds are I'm going to play Cash at Nationals this year, but I really want to learn this deck at the very least, feel it out. It's very fun. I feel like I did make some deck building mistakes when I made this deck that we're kind of like working on right now, like me and my test group. Just kind of like figuring it out, feel out like what works, what doesn't work as like the format develops. So I beat out 2-1 Plants, Flu, Runic Chimera, and then I lost to the mirror match. The thing is just like my friend had like his list was more refined. He knew like the deck better. He had more time playing the deck. I think he's been playing it like 3 weeks now. It's like my first night playing it in person. I'm testing it like probably about a week or so now online with some friends, but it's like my first like night playing it in person. So I think it's just like he just played better at that point from experience. But to get into the list for what I did play tonight, and we'll talk about like what things I would change over the course of the video. First off, 2 Flamebergs. Feels like if you're playing pure, it's like the guy that you gotta play 2 of him. This card's really good. It's like everyone keeps saying it's new Block Dragon. I don't really have much more I can add into that conversation, I guess. 1 Snake Eye Oak. I know some people play 2. This card just like it makes me feel like I'm playing ABC again. I like this card. Like you just like because typically when you get Flameberg to bring 2 guys back, one of them's Oak. So that way you effectively get 3 guys back. It reminds me a lot of ABC and like people say Block Dragon too. 2 Populous, just very standard. Not much to say about it. I feel like the ratios that I'm playing are pretty standard for the most part. Like my Snake Eye stuff, just like 3 Ash, 3 Bonfires. I would have played this deck even sooner, but I was waiting for I pulled one a few weeks ago and I was waiting for the other 2 to come in the mail. So I think that's what like really helped me up from playing this deck. Otherwise, you probably would be seeing this video like last week. 1 copy of Temple. I know some people play like 2 of this. It's in our cards like you kind of just want to search it the one time. Like the activation effect is really good because it lets you play around Nibiru. Yeah, I don't feel like it's something that you'd want to see multiples. You just kind of want to like search off Populous the one time, activate it, and just like it's reminds me of the Rescue Ace Field spell where it's like it adds like a layer to your grind game. But what I like about it is the difference that it like where it's different from HQ is that like if you lose HQ, you're basically like that's your grind game it's over. If you lose Divine Temple, like you're still able to keep going, and it's like you didn't really lose a whole lot. I really like this card. I think it's pretty neat. Diabellstar stuff. 3D Bellstars feels like again pretty standard. 2 original, 3 wanted. Just very like by the books. I don't think there's like I know some people play less than 3D Bellstars. I think if you're playing pure 3. For the non-engine, I'm not sure if you consider this engine or non-engine, but the 1 Jet Synchron for synchro plays. It's a level 1 fire. It's also a machine tuner, so you know. 3 talents. I wanted to go with designators initially. I just seen a lot of lists playing 3 talents instead of 3 designators, so I was like, I'm gonna try this card out. And I didn't have designators in time for the tournament. I did pick them up at local night, so we did get a hold of them. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with the talent or the designators, but in my testing before the tournament, I was testing with designators online. At the tournament, I tested talents, and I don't know. They each have like their own application, so it's like kind of gotta pick and choose. I think like designator might be like a side deck card for when I go first, but I'm still learning the side deck patterns, so I'm not sure like how that would fit into like everything I'm doing. 1 called by, basically talents number 4, and 3 Cosmic Cyclones. I've talked about this card a little bit in my previous Kashtira list. I think Cosmic's really cool right now. I like this card a lot. If you're not playing Cosmic, you should definitely get on it. my hand trap lineup. So I was testing, we're doing 3 Drools, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Ghost Belle. So this is another kind of like a product of its time already. Like, you can see how much like the deck has developed like in such a short span of time. Drool Unlock was initially like, oh, like Drool Unlock shuts down the deck, and then now we're at a point where it's like Josh Schmidt like posted this like, hey, this is how you just play through Drool. You basically just don't get the field spell, but you still get your full board anyway. Ash Blossom, I feel like you still have to play this card, even if like you play against this deck, you can side it out. But if you play against anything else, Ash is still pretty good. Like, you're still gonna play Lab. I'm playing a ton of Branded lately. This deck, I feel like this deck has a hard matchup against Flu. Hear me out, because it's like, it's a shifter deck. It interacts with your normal summon, and because they don't normal summon, your Promethean Princess is basically just staying in the grave the whole game unless they nib you or something. So it's very hard for like all the things that your deck is built around to do for you to interact with Flu. 3 Imperms. So this was kind of like my last hand trap. I know like in previous videos I said like I'm kind of moving away from Imperm. I'm not like interested in it anymore. I just didn't know what else to like play, honestly. Like, maybe this could have been like Nibs. Maybe it could have been like Veilers, or like, no, not Veilers. I don't know. Maybe it could have been something else. But tonight it was Imperm, and that's probably like, I don't know, it's kind of just like, I had the 3 extra spots. I had nothing else that I could really think to put in. I was like, okay, it's going to be Imperm tonight. And then 3 Ghost Bells. I like this card tremendously. Card's good against the Mirror Match. Card's good against Lab. Card's good against Runic. Like, Bell is just really good with this format. It was definitely something I was siding 3 of in cash, but now I just have like, I have a lot of room for hand traps in this deck, which I like. So it's just like, I had to play all the hand traps that I would like, that I just want to play, just jam them in there. So that's the main deck. Onto the extra deck, starting with the links. We have Linkuriboh. Card's good. You link away your Populous for this guy. Populous goes in your back row. And it's just like, it's a good card in this deck. Not much to really say. Level 1 monster, you get a Linkuriboh in your deck. Sunlight Wolf. So Sunlight Wolf, it's a weird card for this deck. The reason I say that is I'm playing it not really for its effect, but because I want to have another card I can link Promethean Princess into. Keep in mind, like, Promethean locks you into fire while it's on the field. So I just wanted to have another thing that I can just, like, slap on the board if I'm trying to remove the Promethean from my field. So that way I can, like, summon other things and do other plays. I don't know, this probably could have been, like, Nightmare Phoenix, because, like, if I'm making Sunlight Wolf, chances are I'm making it on my second turn. So, like, I probably should have just been playing Nightmare Phoenix instead of Sunlight Wolf. Its other effect is, like, when you summon something to a zone it points to, you get a fire out of your yard, but you usually don't want to get a fire out of your yard. You want to have it in the grave for, like Flameberg, Oak, things like that. So there's, like, I don't think I ever activated Sunlight Wolf's effect. I don't even think I made it. And then, like, in testing, when I would make it, I wouldn't even use its effect. This probably should have just been Nightmare Phoenix. You got the IP SP package. So it's like, so you set up your board where it's like Flameberg IP, summon back the IP, make the SP, things like that. Very basic, not really much to talk about. Hida for the mirror match. And if, like, you get ashed anywhere, then it's like, okay, slap a Hida on the board, yoink, make a Prometheus. And speaking of Prometheus, I showed you guys a little earlier. Of course, there's a Promethean in the deck. So me and a few of my friends, we did talk about playing 2 Promethean. I just have to get a hold of one, because right now we're playing Selene. And, like, the main idea is, like, you know, you make your access code. But something that one of my other friends talked about is, like, you know, we're playing 3 Drool Unlock, 3 Diabell Stars, and 3 Wanted to search as a Diabell Star. So you effectively have 9 spellcasters, right? So even if I, like, decide to cut the access code, this can still be used to resummon my Diabell Stars or, like, Drool Unlocks, and, like, link those away into Link 4s. Don't know how I feel about that. I just feel like this is just, like, a package deal. You just like play them together, but access code might be something that I eventually cut. I don't know. It's like one of those things like just kind of need to feel it out. World Sea Dragon. This card is really good. I didn't play Ambler Whale tonight, so like what I was doing was it was like you'd get to a point where it's like you have the Promethean Princess, the Flameberg, and one other guy. You turn that one other guy and Promethean into your Phoenix into your Zealantis, and then on your opponent's turn, like let's say you've got your Flameberg. So you got your Flameberg, your IP, and you got like this type of board. So it's like those are spaced a little better. You've got like your IP here, and then like they summon anything. You get this guy back. You pop your Flameberg. You also get this guy back, and then you can eventually like go summon this, link into like an SP, and then you put your SP on the other side of the Zealantis. You have 3 pops in battle phase. So they can't just go like, okay, battle phase, run over the SP, because as soon as they attempt to, it's like, okay, I can pop up to 3 things right here. So that's what I was kind of doing with the deck. But I've seen like the play where it's like you make the Ambler Whale instead of the Phoenix, and then turn the Ambler Whale into Zealantis, or you can just leave the Ambler Whale up. I didn't play it tonight, but it's definitely something to consider since like most decks are playing it. I should probably try that out. Non-links were just common synchro package, formula, Baron, Savage, just where you buy the books, you just like make your formula. That's why we play Jet Synchron. And then like Jet plus Diabellstar makes your Savage, formula plus Flameberg makes your Baron. Oddly enough, I actually made a Baron tonight using I had Diabellstar. I go summon Jet Synchron, synchro away for the formula, and I went like tune formula, Diabellstar, and like one of the level 1s to make Barons. That was an interesting thing that happened tonight. And then 2 XDs, Typhon, Fucho. Fucho is just like if you get shifted, so that way you just like slap this guy on the board, and you're guaranteed to make it to another turn at least. So it actually came up tonight against my Flu opponent. There's like 2 minutes on the clock. They shifter me. They went first. They go normal Robina. I Ash. I think they like set to pass. I go normal Ash, get Populous. Populous gets the field spell. Swing both my guys over the Robina for damage. Slap this guy on the board, and I passed. So they had like, at that point, there's less than 2 minutes for them to deal with the thing that just couldn't be destroyed. And that actually just won me in time. So that was, this card's really cool. I think I want to keep playing this guy. Typhon, unfortunately, like I like Typhon. I don't want to move away from it, but I think it's another one of the things where like me and my friends kind of talked about. It's like there's not really a great time to make this card anymore. If you're playing the mirror match, or like if you're not even playing Snake Eye but you play into Snake Eye, like this card's kind of like it just doesn't do a whole lot. Like you have to play through an entire board. Already you trigger the Promethean Princess. It's really unfortunate because I do like playing Typhon. I love playing into a board, and then like the very last thing is like you push through everything. They have like 1 guy left. Like, okay, Typhon, bounce it, leaving them on no resources. But Snake Eye is just so good at generating resources that I guess like it's not a realistic thing to really take into account at this point. Like it's such a resource grind when you play into a Snake Eye deck that like Typhon's, it's not realistic, I guess. That's just very unfortunate because I do like the design of Typhon. I do, definitely. Moving on to the side deck, we played 3 Nibs. This probably should have been a main deck card. I was choosing between main decking Nib and main decking Drool-N-Lock, and I did go Drool-N-Lock, but probably should have been like reversed that way. This would probably have been a better card to be main decking. 3 DD Crows. this is something that my friends were like, yeah, these should have just been soul releases. So I could definitely see that in the future. 3 Phantasmes. I didn't get to side this thing in all night. If I did, I think I might have sided it in, just never saw it. But I'm very happy to be in a format where I can play Phantasme. This is one of my all-time favorite cards, so it's good to see. I get to side deck a lot of cards I enjoy playing. Anti-spell's like the MVP of the side deck for this for Snake Eye, because like you flip it on your opponent's turn, they can't play spell cards, and then your turn you just remove it with like one of like a million cards in your deck, and you don't have to worry about, like, you can go like Oak to remove it, you can go Ash to remove it, you can go Original Sinful Spoil to remove it, Diabellstar can remove it. So you pretty much never have to play under anti-spell, but just like it's like a one turn Imperial Order. I think it's definitely like really good in this deck. And finally, the mainstay, Judgment. We will always be on Judgment. Is it good right now? I don't think. I hate to say it, but it's really not that great. If you play into like, it's like good against stopping board breakers. Like it's good against like that type of situation. So if they have like evenly, something like that. But even then, it's hard to evenly this deck. So they go to battle phase. You just go, okay, before you leave, I'm gonna summon my IP, turn the IP into SP, and then it's like, okay, you're good to go. I'm just gonna blink my board, and then just keep like the best thing. Like, who cares? Yeah, it's like, sure, you can like Judgment evenly, stuff like that, but I don't know. I just always like Judgment. Just probably gonna continue playing Judgment. Yeah, that's like my deck profile. There's a lot of things I would have changed and done differently, but all things considered, the deck still did pretty good tonight for like my first time playing it into a tournament. So I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna make some changes to this deck before my next locals, and hopefully by then we'll do even better and go undefeated. But I hope you enjoyed this profile. Let me know what you guys think I could work on and change around a little bit, and I will see you guys all next time.